Confessions of a Homeschooler, and I have another literature unit for you today. This one is Journey to the Center of the Earth, and again I'm using the Classic Starts version because those are great for the ages of our children right now. And I'm also going to show you our lap book and what's inside of here and what the literature unit's all about. So if you're interested in seeing that, please stick around and we'll be right back. So for this unit, like my others, we're using the Classic Starts version of Journey to the Center of the Earth. It's retold from the Jules Verne original, and the Classic Start series are great for younger, I would say elementary level readers. I think they say through 5th grade, but they're just, you know, a shorter version of the classics. They're sometimes rephrased in a way that's a little bit easier for younger readers to understand, and it's a great way to get them into chapter books, into the classics at a younger age, and then when they're older you can of course go through the original versions and they'll already have some kind of a idea of what they're about and that kind of thing. So we like these, and that is what I'm using for this unit study. So here's what the lap book looks like. It has a cover on the front for your student to color, and then on the inside, if you open it up, you'll see all of the mini books inside. And so each chapter has an associated mini book, and there's a comprehension question that goes with each one. So your student will read the chapter, then cut out and color the mini book, answer the comprehension question inside. And so this book has, I believe, 20 chapters, and then it also has a vocabulary word list, and that's just words that your student may or may not know before reading this story so that they're familiar with it when they read it, and also it just helps grow their vocabulary. So this book, like I said, has 20 chapters, so we had to add an extra flap up here at the top. So here's some of the inner books, and then here is the top flap as well, as you can see. So if you fold that book and then flip it over, on the back side are all of the reports that go with it, and we can just go through those quickly. I just added an extra pocket on the back side of this, and I do have a video on how to make this. If you're interested, I'll link it below. And so all of my units come with these student pages, and so they do a prediction worksheet based on the cover. So they'll look at the cover, and just from that they'll decide what they think the story's about, what they think happens, that kind of thing, where they think it takes place. They also come with a timeline sheet, and that basically is just where they would enter, they can either draw or write a picture of any major events that happen in the story, and that's kind of just a good way to help remind them of what happens. They can just quickly look back at this and see the history of events that has taken place. Oh, and you may need to print out more than one of those sheets. It's really up to your student and how much they want to add. There's also a protagonist and antagonist worksheet, so they'll kind of talk about who the protagonist is, who the antagonist is, what the issue is, and what the solution is, and the definitions for those are in your teacher's manual as well, so you might need to review that with your students before they complete that sheet. They'll also complete a worksheet just with some of the facts about it, the story, the setting, the main plot, the main character, and their favorite thing about the story so far, and then there's also a place for an illustration. And then they also all come with a book report, and that would just be your standard author, illustrator, a short summary of the book, and then their report on what they thought about the book. And then if you choose to, you can find a child-friendly, kid-friendly version of this book on DVD, and there's actually a couple options for this story. They made a few of these movies, so just find the one that you think is suitable for the ages of your children, and then they can fill out this book versus movie report, and it just notes the similarities between the two, the differences, how the characters kind of compare with the ones that they were thinking when they were reading the story, and then which version they liked better and why. And again, there's another image for them to draw. So I just keep the reports in this little folder. It's a nice way to kind of keep everything together. These units also come with a teacher's manual for you. They tell you what you need to do, complete this unit, anything you need to prepare ahead of time, some things to do prior to reading, and that's usually the prediction worksheet, like I said, based on the cover, and then the vocabulary so your students know what the words are before they come across them in the text. And then the timeline, you just introduce that to your students and then they can fill it out as they go. And then for the rest of the units, there's a chapter 1. I list the chapter so you know what they should be reading, and then what to do for that chapter. So for example, to cut out the mini book, how to prepare it, and then inside what the questions are. So for this first one, it's what special thing did Axel's uncle find? And he found a book about a Norwegian princess ruling Iceland. And what language was the book written in? And the answer is runes, which were small stick-like figures. And so your students have these questions on their student pages with the mini books, but they of course don't have the answers. I put those in there for you, obviously, so that it's a lot easier for you to assign out these units to your students, and then instead of having to read the book ahead of time, you can just check their answers afterward to make sure that they're understanding what they have read and comprehending. So, and there's that for every single chapter. So it just goes through all of them and tells you what to do on each one. And then for the final activity, it tells you to read through. There's comprehension questions also at the end of each of these Classic Starts books. I love these for that reason. They're great for younger readers, but they also have some more critical thinking questions at the end of the book as well. And then to complete their book report, and if you want to do an optional movie night. So that is our Journey to the Center of the Earth Lapbook unit. If you have any questions, feel free to email me at erica@confessionsofahomeschooler.com. You can also visit my website at www.confessionsofahomeschooler.com for more information as well. And I will put a link in the information box below on where you can find this unit study, and there's actually quite a few more. So if you don't like this one, I'm sure there's one that you might be interested in doing. So I hope you enjoy this unit, and I will see you next time.